Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening. I hope so. I am live now. Can you just quickly confirm? Yeah, I am live now. So, can you just quickly confirm if I am audible to you and if my screen is clearly visible to you or not? Okay, I would require this confirmation from your side. Once you confirm this, then I will move forward with the lecture. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Okay, good evening, guys. Welcome back to the day 4 of this boot camp. And yeah, so as I promised yesterday, we will be starting with CI/CD part today. First of all, we'll understand what CI/CD stands for, its meaning is, and some of the theoretical concept, and then we'll move forward with the practical part where we will try writing the code for CI/CD directly into the GitHub. And yeah, so that's a plan right now. So as soon as we are done with this part, we'll end the session. We are not going to extend it much. Okay. Good evening, Anusha. Good evening, Art Lover. Good evening, everyone. Hello, COC. Great, guys. Great. So, okay, I see there are very less students today in the session. Okay. Yeah, Pavan. Good evening, Pavan. How are you doing, Pavan? Is the issue resolved with you, Pavan? I think so. It was you, right? Who was having some issue with the certificate? Mano Kanya. Yeah, Manoganya. Sorry for the issue. Yeah, so if you forward to Yeah, guys. I think so. I'm back again after a great and problematic time. I hope so. I hope so. You can see me now. Okay, let me reconnect with the chat. Guys, can you confirm if I'm live now? Okay, great. Okay, so the topic that we had to cover today was CI/CD, right? So let's begin this and let's not waste our time now. And let me share my screen first of all. I haven't shared my screen. Okay, so wait a minute. Okay, great. So now the topic that we had to start today was CI/CD. Let's quickly start before we get interrupted yet again by something else. So the first part is CI. What does CI stands for? CI stands for continuous integration. Okay, continuous integration is the first part that we have today. What does it exactly stands for? Why are we studying this part? And yeah, what advantages we have from CI/CD? Everything will be covered. So first thing is what does CI/CD actually means? Okay, so we are talking about integration in this term. It means we are talking about merging codes. So CI works for automatically merging codes. Okay, automatically merging codes and test code when developers. Okay. So now, what have I written exactly is so you sometimes suppose you have multiple branches and in multiple branches you would be pushing some codes. Okay. Now, whatever code you are pushing to automatically merge that code together up and also to test that code. If the code has some errors or some problems, we have to have continuous integration in this part. Okay. So that's what continuous integration simply means. Just adding up the new code that has been pushed. That's what integration means. Okay. What should I do if I'm unable to mark my attendance? No, you cannot do anything right now. So just like enjoy the lecture right now for today's lecture, and you can mark today's attendance. One day of attendance missed, no problem with that. Next is CD. What does CD stands for? Now, CD deals with deployment part. Okay, so CD stands for continuous delivery. Okay, why am I making so many spelling mistakes? Okay, now CD stands for continuous delivery. It means it deals with the deployment part. So you created a code, you added a code that got merged with your already existing code that was CI. Now the next thing is CD. So CD will automatically, okay, so automatically prepare the code for deployment. Okay, I'm talking in terms of deployment. Okay, so that will automatically prepare your code for deployment. That is the next part that we have. Now, see, when you add a code, there is one way where you fetch the code manually and then deploy it. That's the one way that you have. Now, the other way is you make some changes, you push the code directly to the repository, and by default, automatically this changes gets fetched and it gets built and deployed. That's what we have in delivery, continuous delivery. Integration deals with merging the code automatically. Deployment deals with adding the code to the deployment directly. That's what CI and CD stands for in this concept test. Okay. So again, delivery as well as you can also understand it in terms of deployment too. Okay. So if you understand CD in terms of deployment, not in terms of delivery, what it will stand exactly for. Okay. Continuous deployment will, and now again it's same part. I'm just repeating it again. So in case of continuous deployment, what can you define it as? Okay, fully automated deployment process. Okay, that's what you will name it as. Okay, now one more thing. Each before each deployment, we test out our code. So we should first of all process our test. Okay, so once the test has been done. So that this is a necessary condition. So for each code that you write, there is a particular test cases to follow and complete. So once that is done, you can then deploy it up. Okay. Kushoni, sorry, Kush. My attendance of tomorrow is pending, no problem, Kush. If 1 days of attendance left, no problem. Okay, now let's move to why exactly do I need CI/CD and what is the advantage do I have from CI/CD? Okay, guys, you can stop like discussing about attendance. If you have missed yesterday's attendance, I cannot help you right now. Okay, so why CI/CD exactly in web development? So let's understand this part. Why we need CI/CD. So the first thing is we need a faster release. Okay, what does faster release means over here? You have added a code. Okay, you have written a code for some features. Now, if you have a manual system, what you need to do is you have to go forward. You have to manually fetch the code. You have to manually deploy the code. That's a one way. So that takes time. Okay, that actually takes time. Now, for a faster release, what you do, you create a pipeline or else you create a CI/CD pipeline and that acts as an automation for you. Okay, you just need to push the code gets integrated automatically, the code gets deployed automatically. That's what I mean by faster release. Okay, so code reaches users quickly. Okay, that's the next concept that you have. Okay, so faster release is the one part. Yes, guys, what is the sudden need of high and high whatever? Okay, do you want it in this form? Isha, the attendance form will not work. Even if you forward the yesterday's attendance form, it will not work. Hi, Varsha. Okay, so the next part is fewer bugs. Okay, now the integration part not only merges the code, it also tests for any bug that you have in the code. Okay, so in any syntax error, whatever you would possibly be having, so everything gets filtered out at that point. So you will automatically test and catch, okay, the errors that you have in your code. Okay. So whatever errors or bugs you have in your code, while integrating that, you will just check it out because the automation code that we write, we also use a checker, syntax checker or bug checker that we can call it as. So it will just identify if there is any issue in your code or not. If there is any key issue, it will not actually integrate your code. So the code gets integrated only if there is no possible issue that you can think of. Okay. Okay, so the third advantage that I can think about is collaboration. So I have repeated this part many times. GitHub is a very collaborative platform. Okay, you can use it for collaboration with many different developers and many users. Okay, so how does it works in collaboration? So multiple developers can now push the code. Okay, so multiple developers can push safely. Now, what push am I talking about? Pushing off code. I hope so. You do not take it something different. I am talking about pushing off code. Okay. Multiple spelling. So that's the next concept. Okay. Why are you unable to mark your attendance, Ujjwal? What is the issue that you are facing? Okay. So what is the fourth one? So the fourth one that I have is reliability. So how exactly is my code more reliable if I add a continuous integration and continuous deployment in this part? So let's understand that simply as I told, the code error gets removed. We have many advantages with CI/CD in this case. So in terms of reliability, what do we have? So every build, whatever you do, or else every deployment that you perform, everything is tested first of all. Okay. So before deploying it up, you have an automation pipeline that tests the code first of all before actually deploying it up. Okay. So you have that great advantage that adds a reliability for you. Okay. So every build is tested and deployed first of all. Okay, so before whatever deployment you are taking in integration part, you will first test the code. I am repeating this part again, guys. The code gets tested first, then only it moves to the build process. Okay, pushing code from VS Code to GitHub has getting so many issues. What are the issues that you are getting, Shruti? Shushti. Okay, guys, if I pronounce your name wrong, do not mind it. Okay, I have to pronounce many names from many parts of India, so I might get confused sometimes. Okay, even though I'm from North India, I sometimes gets problem with pronouncing some North names. Okay, so consistency, what is consistency in this case? So same process for if a developer is performing the same process, it will take much of the time of the developer, and yeah, okay. So same process for dev, like is development, staging, and production. Okay. So when you are developing the platform on a local system, over there also you can integrate CI, that is continuous integration, that will test your code. Same goes for staging, same goes for production. What is staging? Staging is just a place in between production as well as your local system. Okay, that's what staging is. I'm not able to create branch in it. Okay, so what is the command that you're using to create a branch? So I think so. I gave you a command that was create a feature branch. I gave you the command, right? Where is the command? Where's the command? Okay, so 1 minute. Let me find the command that I gave you. Yeah, this was the command, git branch, whatever the branch name that you have. Okay, that was the command. Okay. No, Kush. Sorry, Kush. Kush, that's not a better version of version control or whatever you can call it as. You do not drag and drop file to directly to the GitHub. That's the worst practice that you can do. Please push the code directly from your VS Code or local editor to the GitHub using a terminal. Do not perform this work of drag and drop. That's the worst thing that you can do. Like, just take my suggestion, whatever you want to think it as, do not do this work. Do not drag and drop this, please. That's the worst thing that you can do. You have a better option where you can push all the code in one instance using the command prompt or else terminal. Please use that. Okay. Do not go forward with dragging and dropping the code. Mm. Okay, so this was the advantages why we exactly need CI/CD in this part. Now, if I talk about what all popular CI/CD tools we have, let's also complete that. Okay, okay, let's go to popular CI/CD tools. Now, yes, just give me a minute. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so we can think about first thing, the CI/CD tool on GitHub itself. So the first one that we can think of is GitHub Action. Okay, so GitHub Action. Now, where do we exactly define the GitHub action? Directly inside a repository. We will see that how we can define that up. What should be the folder structure and what should be the naming convention? Okay, so CI CD build in your repo. Okay, that is the first way of adding. Now, after GitHub Action, the next way that you can actually use is GitLab CI. Okay, so GitLab CI is another tool. Now, GitLab is also a version control cloud platform that you can use. So, most of them do not use it up, but obviously it's not less popular. Okay, it's popular. Obviously, many of the developers use. Okay, so integrated into GitLab. So you will be directly adding the CI pipeline to your GitLab. And the next one is Circle CI. That is one more. And the last one is most popular. That is Jenkins. That's the most popular CI/CD platform that we can use. Okay. Okay. So now the Cloud CI is cloud based. Oh, sorry, Circle CI is cloud based. First thing is this. And the next thing is, so we always write a YAML file. Okay, what is YAML file? I will explain you later, just in a moment. So I will just explain you what is a YAML file. Okay. Okay, so last one was Jenkins. Okay. Now, this is the most famous CI/CD platform or CI/CD tool that we normally use in development. But see, remember now, whatever hosting platforms you would be using. all the hosting platforms have CI/CD on a normal level implemented. Until unless you are making a very complex architecture, in that case you need to define a CI/CD of your own. But but if you have a tool, or let's suppose you have a website of Vercel, okay, and you are deploying any Next.js site on a Vercel. So now, whenever you will make any changes to your GitHub repository, the changes will get directly fetched from the Vercel itself. Now remember, here the fetching of the code is in CI part, that is continuous integration part. Then the deployment will also take part automatically. Over here in modern development tools, or else in modern hosting tools, we do not actually need to get down and define everything from scratch. Many of the things are already defined. Okay. So as I took the example of Vercel, okay, so you push some new code to your GitHub repository. So the new code will get directly fetched from Vercel. It will directly fetch and integrate it up. It will also test it up. Okay. Now testing is just what? Testing is just understanding the syntax level. Okay. Now after testing, it will then go forward and build that particular code. Now, this part is also automatic. You haven't defined anything on your own. Everything that is working right now is automatic. Okay, so modern tools have come to a very great modernity, like they have defined everything for you. Until unless you are working with a very complex application, then concept is different. In that case, you have to define everything on your own. Okay, okay, fine. Yeah, thank you, Varsha, for your compliment. Okay, so now this is the theoretical part that we had. Now the next part is, now let's implement this up and let's go forward in GitHub. So we already created a repository in last class, and we have to actually implement the CI/CD part over there. Okay, just give me a moment. And this was deploy test, right? Okay, so this was the tool, and we already deployed this application. But again, we need to create something. That is, we need to actually see how we can work with, first of all, continuous integration. Okay, so we'll go forward with that. And now remember the folder structure. So on GitHub in root directory. So first thing is I will explain you the folder structure that you have to keep. So folder structure is important. Why is it important? Because GitHub needs to understand what exactly are you defining for it. So the folder structure should be dot slash. The first folder name should be GitHub. And after GitHub, we will have another folder that is workflows. Okay. And inside this, you can create any file. Okay. So whatever file you will create, it will have an extension of YAML. YAML is a file extension that you use to write a CI/CD code. Okay. That is to write a automation code. Okay. That's what we have in this file. So then let's again move back to it. It's just 7:30 motivational. It's just 7:30. Just can you wait some more moments? So I need to create a folder first of all. Okay, so I need to create a folder so that I can. Okay, can I? So I have an option of creating a new file, and I will directly create a folder here itself. This is practical session, right? I think so. This is a practical session that we are doing. Okay, so in deploy test, I will name. Okay, so the name should be first of all GitHub. Okay, that is the first folder structure. Then I will go forward and I will name it as workflows. That is the next one. And then, okay, why is it not getting saved? Okay, so let's move back. We haven't said in, okay, okay, page short form. Okay, let's move back and I have to do this task again. Let's create a file. This is not a web development bootcamp. Okay, like we are not doing any practical of web development right now. So you can Okay, so first I will name it as GitHub, that is dot GitHub, and then I will name it as workflows. Okay, then I will name my final file. So the final file I will name it as ci.yml. That is the file extension that we have in this case. Okay. Okay. So now let's write something in it. So we have to write the integration code. Okay. Can we integrate VS Code with this? Obviously, you can. Yes, GitHub Copilot with. Yeah, of course. Why do you want to use GitHub Copilot? Okay, let's write it up. Now, remember when do we need to trigger the integration part? We need to trigger the integration part when we have exactly pushed a code, or else we have pulled a certain code. In that scenario, we have to implement the integration part. So first thing I have to define is trigger point. On what trigger point should I actually trigger my integration? So on and then push. Then on what branches should I add this? So the only branch that I care about right now is main. So I will be adding it to main itself. Then I will also add the similar thing to my pull request. Okay, so whenever I get a pull request, in that case also, I have to do the similar task. Okay, so same thing, branches, I will give my branches. Okay, so in both the cases, the branches that I have set is main itself. So trigger point are two. One is when the code is pushed, another one is when the code is pulled. Okay, now let's move to the next thing. Okay, I think it's fine, right? It's correct. What is the issue in this invalid type format? Object was expected, but the string was found. Okay, just a minute. Why am I having this issue? Hmm. Branches branches. Okay, branches spelling is correct. Okay, just a moment, please. Let me see what is the issue in this part. Yeah, guys, wait a minute, guys. I will share the attendance. Let me resolve this issue first, okay? I'm getting an error over there, and this should not actually happen. Okay, let me try it out with this. If the error remains same, I will like remove this another trigger that I have. If it is removed, okay, it's fine now. Most probably it was indentation error. Okay, so these are the two triggers that I want, requesting you to send yesterday and today's attendance form, Ashwarya. I can just send today's attendance form, Ashwarya, not yesterday's. So this next thing is what job to perform in this case. Okay, on these triggers, what job to perform. So I will first of all perform a build, that is to build my code. Now runs on. Okay, now when does look okay? Now see, whatever things we are building, it will get built on a certain operating system. Okay, whatever thing gets built, even on your deployment sites, it gets built on a certain operating system. So for whatever build we are talking in terms of our web development, we will be using Ubuntu. Okay, so Ubuntu latest, so whatever latest version we get of Ubuntu will be used in this case. Okay, so that is my next job. Yes, Sachin. Okay, so now I will define some steps. What are the steps do we need? Okay. Yes, Deepak, wait a minute, Deepak. It's just 36. I will share it up. Okay. So first is name. So first thing I will define it as checkout code. So in checkout code, what is the purpose of it? Okay. So I will define actions, comma, checkout at the rate v3. V3 is the version. So what am I trying to do in this case is I am actually trying to check my code if there is any error or if there is any issue with my code that I have. Okay, that is what I am trying to do in this particular part. Okay, so that is my checkout code. Let me correct this indentation so that we do not have any error. Okay, fine. Okay, is it telling me bad indentation? What is the bad indentation of mapping entry? Okay, let me correct this out. What do you want, brother? Okay, I will correct it out. Okay, so this is the first step that I have, and let me define the second step of name. Okay, okay. So the second step is set up Node.js. Now, this is only for the like only for the repos where you have used Node.js. If you haven't used Node.js, in that case, you can just skip this out. But I will write the code, even though we haven't used Node.js. I do not care. I will write it up for you just for example. Okay. So step up, not step up, but just set up. Okay, set up node at the rate v3 again version. And with what should I need to do this setup? Okay, so with node version, I will also mention the node version that I want my CI to use, and I want CI to use my node version of 18. Okay, that is, and then the last job that I want it to do is installation of dependency. Install dependencies. Now again, this is also for only Node.js. If I do not have a Node.js, in that case, I do not actually need to install a dependency. So to install a dependency, what is the command that I need? npm install. Okay. So to install a dependency, you need a command of npm install. Okay. Then at last, I will run some test. Okay. Run test. And what you want to do is yeah, guys, we have opened a poll. Can you please vote for that poll in the chat? Okay. We just need your recommendation if we can move the community post to sorry, Telegram or not. Okay. Okay, so I'm just running a code node test.js. Okay. So these file might not be in our repo, but yeah, obviously we need to add it up. And this is a complete code for my continuous integration part. Okay, I hope so. It is clear till this point. Guys, is there any doubts till this point? Anyone having any doubts till this point, you can mention that. I will rectify that doubt and then we'll move with the continuous deployment part two. We'll create another file in the same folder structure for the continuous deployment part. Okay, great. If it is clear, I think so it's great. Yeah, this is much better indented version. Okay, and now I will just do one thing, that is commit changes, and I will add this ci.yaml. So you can have YAML, not a YAML, that will work fine. Okay. Okay, this has been created, and now I will again add a file. Now this file that I will add now is cd. Okay, so I am going to actually do the deployment part. So deploy dot YML will be the next part that I'm going to add. Okay, attendance thing. Yeah, guys, just complete the poll and then I will share the attendance at 45. Guys, have patience. Just clear the. Let's just vote in the poll so that I can we can get the. Okay, are you okay if we are moving our bootcamp group to Telegram? Okay, fine. So let's try the deployment code and then I will share the attendance. Yes, Sakshi, I will share the attendance. I'm not running away with the attendance form, guys. Obviously, I will not run away with the attendance form. Okay, do not worry. Okay, so the next part is deploy.yaml. Now, if you want to name it up, I will give it a name. Okay, so I will name it as deploy to GitHub page. We already did the deployment to GitHub page. That was the one part that we did. So yeah, you can move forward with that. I will start with the on itself. Now, again, two triggers that we need to add in this case. So first trigger is on push, and I will add the branches that I want. So I want whenever I push any code to the main branch, in that case, I want to trigger this up. Okay, I am getting an indentation error. Okay, the only issue with this is indentation error. Okay, so if you are able to resolve object respected with string was found. Okay, we'll resolve it later. It's not any serious. So that is the first trigger. Only one trigger will be there. Why? Because obviously in pull request, we are not going to deploy the application again. We are going to deploy the application only when there is a push. Okay. No pull will be considered as a trigger. Now, the next thing is permission. So I need to give some permissions for this deployment. So first thing is contents. So I will have a read content permission. Next thing is pages. So pages, I will have a write page like permission, and ID token. Again, you can write it up. So I have given these permissions to GitHub, so it can perform these all. Now, jobs. What all jobs do I need to perform in this deployment part? So the first part is deploy. Okay, the first part itself is deploy. So deploy environment. That is the first part, and name. The job name will be GitHub pages. Okay, that is the job name. And we have to give a URL of your own. Where is time going? Time is going, I don't know where it is going, but it's going somewhere. Okay, I do not exactly know where it's going, but it's going somewhere and it will not come back. Just remember. Okay, so steps dot deployment. I'm creating a URL for my application. Okay, so it's a custom URL, outputs dot page underscore URL. Yeah, Shraddha Patil. Wait, Shraddha, why are you so impatient? The more you comment about attendance, more delayed it will get. Okay, getting attendance link is now in your hand. Do not comment much about the attendance. Okay, so this was my URL, right? And then I will now define where exactly this deployment should run on. That is the next thing that I have to take care of. So I will define runs on. Now again, Ubuntu will be taken in consideration for this case. Ubuntu latest. Okay. Okay. Then what all steps do I need to run in this case? So the first step that I will be running is now we are doing the deployment part. So we again need to check the code. So we already did check out of a code in integration part, but then again we are doing it again over here. Now users, what exactly will it use? So again, it will be using actions dot checkout at the rate v3. Okay, so almost and how math is very important. Indonesia official. AIML is totally based upon maths. Do not think of studying AIML if you are bad at maths. Probability, permutation, combination, everything, regression, everything deals with the math. So whatever, A1, let me write this up, then I will tell you. Okay, set up pages. Yeah, so whatever algorithm you can think of in AIML, everything works on a math and everything has a concept of mathematics behind itself. So do not think of learning AIML if you do not have knowledge of maths or if you are not interested in maths. Of course, if you are integrating a chatbot from Gemini API, then obviously you will not need mathematics. But if you are creating something valuable in terms of AI ML development, then you will require algorithms, and those algorithms will require math. Okay, so the next part is upload build. So once the build has been done, I have to upload it up and users. What are things am I going to use? Okay, so actions, upload, pages, and artifact at the rate we do. So version I have already taken up. If there is any better version, I can share that up. Yeah, Astic Dube. Just wait, Astic. Okay, so now, yeah, I think I missed one thing. Okay, so this is done. Now there is the last part of deployment. So I have built it up till now. Okay, yeah, so the next part is deployment. So we'll deploy it up. Yeah, guys, if anyone is not understanding it, no problem with that. You can take your time to understand this. Okay, uses now the last part is deployment. So what it will use again, I will go with action and deploy pages at the v2. That is the part. Okay, you never know the formation for deployment. Take example of like take help of documentation to understand as per your project. The different project that you have, the different will be the deployment code. Okay, remember this. Nothing is universal. Everything is different for different case setups. Yeah, obviously you will not understand it on the first instance. Just remember, first we are adding a trigger. After trigger, I am adding a permission. After permission, I am adding some jobs. Now, what all jobs am I adding? First is checking out of code. If there is any error, then we are setting up the pages on GitHub. Then we are uploading a build. What is build? You have to understand first that part, and then deploy. Okay, that is the thing. Okay, let me commit this up, and then I will share the attendance for you. Yeah, Varsha, where are you from? Oh, Varsha, I'm exactly. Why do you want to know where am I from? Okay, natively I'm from UP. That's what I can tell you exactly. Other than that, I cannot tell you where am I exactly and where what am I doing right now. Okay, so wait a minute. I will share the attendance form now. Okay, you can have some patience, guys. Just one more minute, and I will share this up. Okay, as I promised, I will not move to any other concept today. So yeah, is this AI agent? No, this is not an AI agent. Do you think making AI agent is this easy? Okay, this is obviously not AI agent. It is just continuous integration and continuous deployment code. Okay, I have pasted attendance form on the top, so please mark your attendance. And once you're done, you can leave. And yeah, if you have any doubts that you can say, like I don't understand how this works, push, sit down, take your time, and try understanding it up. Because I don't expect you to understand these all things on a first instance. Okay, obviously these are things that are complex. So take your time to understand this part. And obviously, we have like GitHub page. We are getting across over here. Why are we getting across? We have created a continuous integration and deployment for a Node.js, and it's an JavaScript. Okay. Can we learn ML? See, Ritvik, try getting course two. That will be much more helpful. You can have a book for machine learning where you can solve mathematics and algorithm questions, but better have a course with that. To understand all those complex algorithms, regression, and all everything, you need to have something. And the course is the best option that you can get. Guys, is there any genuine or any other doubts related to this concept? And please don't forget to like what I was saying. Yeah, don't forget to add your attendance. And if you forget to add your attendance, I would not be able to help you tomorrow. Okay, do not come to me tomorrow telling that I forgot to add my attendance or something like that. Okay, yeah, Varsha. Fine, guys. Is there anything else that you want to ask other than from where I am, or other than from what I am doing, or other than this these all questions? Okay. Can you suggest some courses? Ritik, do you know Krish Naik? So he is very good educated in terms of AI/ML. So if you want to go forward and have some courses from AI/ML, you can go forward and have his course. Like even you can have free YouTube courses of his. So he is very good at teaching AI/ML part. So he has a very comprehensive code that he has developed. If you want to go forward with a paid course, he also has a paid course both on Udemy and I think so on his platform too. I don't remember if he has a platform, but he has a paid course on Udemy. But if you want to go forward with a free course, please go forward on YouTube directly. Ujjwal, why were you unable to mark your attendance? It's just a simple form. I will try covering what all topics are remaining. Whatever can be covered tomorrow, I will cover it up. So till now I have given you two assignments to complete. So complete those two assignments, and most probably tomorrow also I will be giving you some assignments. Okay. So altogether there would be three assignments that you have to do, and you have to submit those assignments to get the certificate. So I'm very new to programming. What course would you suggest to get started? Like, are you talking about coding programming, or else are you talking about development? What exactly are you talking about? Bhavyaraj. If you're talking about coding, just go forward and learn syntax and everything from basic first of all. If you're talking about development, then please choose a framework that you want to go forward with. Okay, fine, guys. Now let's end it up here, and we'll meet you tomorrow at the same time. Good evening, Deepthi. We are going to end this session, Deepthi. So I think so. It will be now good night and bye bye. Okay. So CI/CD basically used in all big platforms where feedback comes and updation, and yes, everywhere is CI/CD is everywhere now, guys. Wherever you can think of, everywhere it is implemented. Yeah, Roman, can you try doing that? Deployment on Git Bash. I haven't posted assignment anywhere, so I have just told you what the assignment will be, and you have to complete that up. Okay. Okay, fine, guys. Let's end this up here, and we'll meet you tomorrow at the same time with different concept. CI/CD is done. Let's see what is the remaining concept that we have to complete, and we'll meet you tomorrow. Okay, bye, guys, and thank you. Yeah, bye, Varsha. Bye. Good night, guys. Good night. Bye, bye.